education, inspiration, Sahara TV.
Let me die.
I am from SaharaTV. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Education, inspiration, Sahara TV. Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. His admirers call him fearless. His detractors call him the Sheik of Doom. Whatever you call him, he cannot be ignored. Sheik Gumi was once a medical doctor, a military officer, but it is as an Islamic cleric at the Sultan Bello Mosque in Kaduna that he has emerged as a powerful political force in Nigeria. His sermons are legendary in their rebook of the Nigerian socio-political life. Sheik Gumi, welcome to Sahara TV.
Welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Now, let me start by saying, irrespective of what happens in this interview, tomorrow's newspapers are going to have this ready-made headline, Sheik Gumi explodes. How does that make you feel? How do you feel each time you see that headline?
I explode, or I don't understand your meaning. You can clarify your question.
No, I said when the newspapers reports publish this big headline that you explode, you have this outburst. How does that make you feel? Is that what you are going for?
No, actually, I don't say things to catch or attract attention. I say facts, I believe, so that the nation can correct its way, the right way. And my aim is that we should have a peaceful country where everybody will be peaceful in this country.
Yeah,
I don't intend it really to attract attention by saying things that are outrageous.
Yeah. There are thousands of admirers that you have, and they all believe that you speak the truth, and that is why you attract this kind of attention. Now, is it the truth that is driving you, or is it something else? And do you consider your truth absolute?
No, nobody can claim the, monopoly of truth. What I say, I try to say it as much as I believe. What I know is that I don't hide what I believe. I try to make it public and try to admonish people on the right thing I feel is right.
Now, on your Facebook, you criticize Nigeria's decision to send troops to Mali. You argue that there is a tiny line between war against terror and war against Islam. Can you please help our viewers understand this line, define the difference?
Okay, you see, terrorism.
Okay, go ahead.
Is when you kill people, innocent people, whatever means you use, for whatever reason, whether it's political, religious, or anything. When you kill innocent people, that is terrorism, and irrespective of whichever quarter does that. So killing innocent people is terrorism, whether it's from individuals, whether it's from organizations, whether it's from the government. That is terrorism when you kill innocent people. Why I said there's a thin line between fighting terrorism and terrorism, we find it in every religion, in every culture, in every society. Just recently in America, a small boy went into school and killed about 20-something people. This is terrorism. Why did he kill them? For nothing. We have that every religion, in every culture, in every people. We have terrorism. So when you want to fight in Islamic terrorism, we have terrorists. Nobody denies that. Even the Prophet ﷺ said in the last days there will be young men who will be killing Muslims and those who are under covenant with Muslims, because of their ideology. The Prophet talked about them. The third Caliph of the Muslims, Uthman, was killed by terrorists Ali bin Abi Talib before was killed by terrorists. We have terrorism in Islam. Nobody denies we have terrorism in Islam. But when you
All right. Okay, viewers, we have a technical problem. We just lost connection with the Sheikh, and when he comes back, we are going to continue this discussion with him. We want to let him have an opportunity to explain some of the headline stories we've been getting from Nigeria, based on some of the sermons and some of the postings on his Facebook. So stay tuned. We are going to reconnect to him. We asked you on my Facebook page to send some questions that you want us to ask him. We have some of those questions here, and we hope we have the chance to ask him several of these questions and get his answers. Recently, he said that we are going to, Nigeria should not send troops to Mali, and we want to know why. Hello. All right. So I understand that we're here to get him back, and we'll keep trying to get him back so that he can. Okay, we have him back. Okay. All right. Thank you for staying with us.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Sheikh.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
Okay, sorry for that. So you were trying to explain to us the difference between war on terror and war on Islam. So can you please continue?
Okay. What you see, as I said, every religion, every nation, every civilization has terrorists. Terrorists are people who kill innocent people. And we have them among Muslims, we have them among Christians, we have them among Jews. We have them individuals, groups, we have governments too that are terrorists. What is happening in Syria now is a government which is terrorizing people, killing some people because they are demonstrating. We have that in Egypt, we have that in Libya, in Nigeria. Charles Taylor now is facing crimes. He's a former head of state, facing crimes for killing innocent people. So governments too can go into terrorism. Yes, we have Muslim terrorists, but when you want to hide behind fighting these terrorists to fight Islam, that is where the problem comes, and that's where the failure comes.
Now, you also wrote that no nation on earth can fight Islam and succeed. For our viewers who are not deep, who look at things on a superficial level, can you explain, give example of nations that fought Islam and failed, or the consequences, so that they can understand the differences,
Yes, you see, when you're fighting Islam, being the last divine religion, nobody denies that it's religion. Just you have Judaism, you have Christianity, then the last religion is Islam. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
So when you want to fight a divine religion, then you are not only fighting the soldiers or the people you see on the ground, you are also fighting the Lord of creation. And the Lord of creation has forces which you cannot see. There is no way you succeed. I gave example when the Russians went into Afghanistan and the Mujahideen fought them for 13 years, they thought they were winning. In the end, they didn't know that they were exhausting their economic power to the extent that Soviet Union disintegrated. And all historians have said the reason is for that is 13 years of war against Mujahideen. The Americans, when they decided to expand their war against terrorism to include Muslim nations that have nothing to do with terrorism, just for ulterior motives, like what happened in Iraq war, and look at the end results. America is yet to recover from the effect of that war.
But
it's not just having weapons and bombs to drop on innocent people in villages. There's many other facets of war, and now America is facing the economic the problems.
Yeah,
because of that war.
Sheikh, let me ask you, is it possible to fight something like, let's say, if we can agree that maybe Al-Qaeda in a country like Afghanistan without fighting Islam? Is it possible for a country to fight a known or a terrorist group that you can agree this group is a terrorist group without that fight being seen as a fight against Islam?
Yes, it can fight it very well and effectively. How? When terrorists come into a Muslim country or a Muslim town, they try to hide behind the Muslims to cause havoc. So when you empower the Muslims there, they can fish them out and deal with them without attacking the Muslims. But when you want to attack the Muslims in trying to attack the terrorists, now you are giving the terrorists the justification to continue, because the Muslims start hiding them and they will join their war. But when you empower, let me give you an example. In all the countries, no government will allow terrorists to come out and attack innocent people. So when you empower the Muslims to do that, they will do it because they are the first victims of terrorism, Muslims. In Nigeria here, I could remember in 2007, the first person that was attacked and killed in mosque was Sheikh Jafar Mahmoud. He was praying in the mosque. Some people came and killed him, and nobody raised an eyebrow. That was a terrorist attack. Somebody praying and he was killed. He's a scholar, a Muslim scholar in Kano was killed. That was during the Obasanjo's regime. Nobody's talking about terrorism. So you see, Muslims are the first victims of terrorism. And the way to do it is to empower the Muslims to tackle this terrorism, not to come and hide behind fighting terrorism and cause harm to Muslims like what is happening right now in Nigeria.
Yes, because I want to talk about what's happening in Nigeria and the issue of Boko Haram. I know that you are critical of them. You believe that they are not part of Islam, that people who are doing that. I want to ask you, because you could have been a head of state today. I mean, you were in the military, you are well educated. If you were in charge of Nigeria today and you are facing this issue of people using suicide bombing to kill other people, what are you going to do to defeat them?
What I will do to defeat Boko Haram is Boko Haram tries to hide behind civilians. So I will never, ever use military to fight them. I'll use civilians like them to track them, arrest them, and bring them to justice. It's very important to bring them to justice so that, one, I don't fall into the same offense they do. I don't fall into the same sin they do and kill innocent people. But when you send the military, they do, or even worse than what the terrorists do. And this is what we are seeing. The offense committed by the government in killing innocent people, detaining innocent people, is even worse. People have been saying that. In Medicare, have had it. They say we even prefer the Boko Haram against all these, what do you call it, joint task force. So what justify a government to go and kill a civilian population, innocent people? Up to now, many people are incarcerated in very poor, appalling conditions, tortured, killed. Somebody told me, you should hear this, it's very important. Somebody who was detained before, during interrogation, they told him, look, don't waste my time. Your life is not worth more than 2,000 naira. That if he doesn't cooperate immediately, he'll be shot. How many of them were killed? What is that? That's pure terrorism.
Now, why do you think the government is not taking your approach?
This is the crux of the matter. The government is behind, I would say, 50%, even to 60% of these things we see as Boko Haram. Because, unfortunately, some people in the government want to divide Nigeria because they think their region has exclusive oil, and they are supported by some foreign forces too. They want to divide Nigeria. They have been saying that. How do they divide Nigeria? Is by pitching Muslims against Christians. Let's fight, and they will show the world that Muslims and Christians in Nigeria cannot stay in peace. So they have to disintegrate Nigeria. How do they achieve that? By attacking churches, so that the Christians will rise up against the Muslims. There are so many incidents, non-Muslims were caught trying to explode bombs and attack Christians, so that they drew, upheaval in the country.
Now, let me ask you, criticize the Chief of Army Staff, General Azubike Ihejirika, for claiming without evidence that terrorists trained in Mali were coming into Nigeria. And I want to find out from you, what kind of evidence were you expecting the Chief of Staff to provide and share with the public?
No, I was never expecting him to provide any evidence because I know it looks to me it's part of the grand plan we have been witnessing here. Why? There are two countries border between us and Mali. We don't have a common border with Mali. The Nigerian army is supposed to protect Nigerian borders. Niger country republic have never complained that there are fighters from Mali going into Niger. Those people in Burkina Faso, they don't complain that there are militants crossing border or making havoc in Burkina Faso. So how can they cross all these countries, then suddenly come to Nigeria? It's only Nigeria they want the jihad. So there is something. And the army is supposed to protect the border. It should be protecting the border, but unfortunately now, if you come to our towns, Kaduna, Kano, Sokoto, Maiduguri, you find soldiers blocking roads, preventing people from their daily lives. Business is going down. The soldiers are in the towns. They should be in the border. How many governors, how many groups, people are saying, please take off these soldiers from the town so that people will feel the government loves them. No. Chief Army Staff, in collaboration with the president himself, they are, I'm sorry to say, very stubborn in this sense. Very stubborn. You keep soldiers in people's towns. Then you are coming to tell us that militants are infiltrating the country when you leave the borders very porous. Do you understand me?
Now, let me ask you, let's say, I mean, for the purpose of argument, that the Chief of Army Staff has evidence that they are coming into Nigeria. I know that you don't believe that because obviously the other countries neighboring Nigeria are not making that argument. Do you think it's important for Nigeria to take the troops in Nigeria and go and stop them where their base is in Mali?
Okay, look at it this way. You know, Nigeria has defined borders.
Yeah.
If our military in Nigeria cannot prevent militants from entering Nigeria, now you are telling me this military go to a terrain which they don't know, and they go and stop them from there? What I'm afraid for Nigerians is, you see, war is very dirty. When you go into towns, you kill innocent people. There is just no question about that. They call it collateral damage. This collateral damage, this word, it means thousands of lives lost, people maimed, people displaced. Just a word. When Nigeria's army goes to Mali, they will destroy lives. They will kill innocent people.
Okay.
And then, after some years, when these people recover, they will remember that, okay, these Nigerians are the ones that have been killing us. Is that not instigating another reprisal attack on Nigerians from Mali, especially the tourists? You know, they are very brave people. They are fearless people, fighters.
Mm.
So it's a wrong thing to go and meddle in people's affairs. What the best thing we can do is be peacekeepers. The best thing we do, we bring the two warring factions and put them to peace. But to be drawn by foreign interests just to suddenly jump into a war without reasoning, without contemplation, without discussing it, I think is not a good decision.
Mm. Now, let's go to some of the sermons you preached recently. There was one where you talked about Governor Yakowa of Kaduna State, the late governor, and you said that he died while plotting against Muslims with General Andrew Azazi. I mean, your supporters believe that you could not make that statement without having evidence. Can you share with our viewers the evidence you have for such a heavy statement?
Okay, the issue of Yakowa, actually what I said, I made some questions that need answer. I am not the one to give these answers. What is a serving governor doing? Sorry. What is a serving governor doing in the funeral, what do you call it, of an assistant of a president? And what is a former northern head of state, Christian head of state, doing in that funeral? What is Azazi doing, a retired officer, doing in a military, Navy, government helicopters? What are they doing? So there are a lot of questions. But now, after he has died, the evidence there, everybody is sharing. Now it's no more a secret that this man did not mean well for Kaduna State.
Now,
the evidence there, I don't need to convince anybody.
Yeah, but you're talking about the fact that they were there. You know that in Nigeria, politicians fly around and go to these events.
They
so it's
fly
not
around in Navy helicopters. Somebody retired.
Oh, that's a different issue. What I'm saying is that the fact that you had the governor and the former head of state go on and Azazi in one place is not a proof that they were plotting against Muslims in Kaduna State. Is that a proof? Because if you check very well, you probably might see the governor of Enugu State somewhere in Kaduna with some other people. Are they plotting something in that kind of environment?
Okay, no, the way you look at it this way, Nigeria is very volatile, very volatile. And there's suspicion between people, suspicion. If military officers will be, if it's not if there are military officers doing something like that, they will be suspected. You understand? And Kaduna State, when this man came to power, more than 500 people were killed. This man has never ever said sorry or shown any apology or tried to recompensate those who have died. It's just now recently that they are being compensated. They had been in exile for more than all these years. He has been doing that. So his enmity against the Muslims in the state, you don't need even to prove it. Everybody believes that. Now, and even the policies now, things are uncovering now slowly that people. So what are they doing? What are they doing with this man Azazi, who has been known to have transported military equipment to a terrorist organization? Now, MED is confirmed to be a terrorist organization because they are the ones behind the 210 explosion in 1st October in Abuja. The mastermind is convicted in South Africa, and the accomplice is convicted in Nigeria. And who was the NSA that time? It was this Azazi. And he's the one that told the press, okay.
Now, let me ask you, because you mentioned Gowon, and that's a surprise to many people, that Gowon was part of the plot against Muslims in Nigeria. Do you have evidence to support that? You said
no. What I'm saying, get it. Whoever wants to destabilize Kaduna State and the northern states has to get the cooperation of two important people. If you want to destabilize the northern states, you need General Gowon to agree to that.
Why? Why is that?
Wait.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a general and he's a former head of state.
Okay.
And he's a Christian. So it's understandable they can lure him into that. And the governor of Kaduna State, he knows if there will be a fair election in 2015, there is no way this man can win election. But if there is a state of instability, of insecurity, when we have soldiers all over the place, as it happened when he was elected, then he can continue. And don't tell me, all Nigerians know, once you are in a seat of power, nobody wants to leave it. So this man can be convinced, if you want to continue beyond 2015, it's best we destabilize Kaduna like we did in Maiduguri.
Okay.
And we have seen the signs all over.
Now, Sheik, let me ask you. I know we are running out of time. I want to really get some questions in. You now said that you said to people in Kaduna not to vote for a non-Muslim, not to allow a non-Muslim to ever govern Kaduna State. I'm saying, what is wrong with a non-Muslim governing Kaduna State ever?
No, okay, look at it. Whoever said that should have said something. If Christians are more in Enugu, I am telling them never to elect a Muslim as a governor there in Enugu.
Okay.
If Muslims are more in Kaduna, I'm telling them not to elect a Christian as a governor. Even ask you now in America, if somebody comes out a Muslim, no matter how American he is, Do you think he has chances of becoming elected a president?
Well, no, not the president. Let me say that America now elected a black person, and black people are not majority here. And there are Muslims. There's a Muslim in the House of Rep in America, and he's not from a majority Muslim constituency.
Yes, but did you know that when Obama was trying to, when he was a candidate, presidential candidate, one of the things he had to fight is to have to prove that he's a Christian. He has to show his church and his Reverend Jeremiah. He has to prove that he's a Christian before the population will accept him.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm saying
No, that's true.
What I'm trying to say is you don't force people to vote. You don't force Muslims to vote a Christian or Christians to vote a Muslim. Let the majority win.
Exactly.
But to plan, yes, let the majority win. But to plan against or to try to impose a minority on a majority, this is the evil I'm talking about.
But
why did we fight white? Why did we fight white apartheid in South Africa?
You're right. You're right.
White minority rule.
Yeah, Sheik, you're right. But why can't the people?
The white people in South Africa are more diligent, they are more hardworking, they are better than the blacks. Yet we say the majority must rule.
Yeah, Sheik, I agree with you, but why can't the people decide? Why can't people in Enugu State, if they feel that this Muslim is the best candidate to run our state, and we are going to vote for him, why can't they vote for him? Why are we going to say to them, don't vote for a Muslim, don't vote for a short person, don't vote for this? Why can't the people decide on their own? This is the person we want.
No, you see, the people are allowed to decide. What we as scholars try to do is to tell them, look, you are not forced to select somebody because you have a different religion with him to prove that you like their religion. No, we like the Christians, we want to stay peaceful with them, but nobody should dictate to us who we should vote. You understand this freedom? This is the one we want to establish.
Okay, let me go for that. In the same sermon, you also talked about something suggested that Allah was responsible for the plane crash that killed them. I mean, we're talking about Yakowa and Azazi. I'm wondering, and people are wondering, does Allah do things like that, like kill people to eliminate them?
Oh, and you see, this is one thing maybe people don't know about God, the God of creation. They are surprised when they say God destroyed. Even in the Bible, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, are they not destroyed for their iniquities? Is it not there in the Bible that God destroyed people if they are bad? It's there in the Bible and it's there in the Quran. When people are bad, God can destroy them.
Yeah, no, I know that I'm, if that is the argument. So my question now is, if Allah can fight people who are doing things that He doesn't like and destroy them, why then are some people eager to fight for Allah when they think that Islam is under attack? Why can't they leave it to Allah to do the fighting? I mean, for instance, when
there are two grades of fighting. There are grades which God will instruct you. Now, will you tell me a government will see armed robbers and leave them and will not try to apprehend them and judge them? No, the government should do that. But can the government catch all the armed robbers? No, she cannot catch all the armed robbers. But sometime, someday, all the armed robbers who kill people will someday be caught or be inflicted with some punishment from Allah for that evil they have done. So we as Muslims were instructed when we see injustice, we should try and fight it. Part of the injustice is to also fight terrorism. As I told you, Islam fights terrorism. The Prophet ﷺ said, if I have been alive when I see these terrorists, I myself will exterminate them, all of them. It's there in the hadith of the Prophet. But at the same time, anybody who commits evil and escape the judgment of the worldly government, still Allah will punish him. In fact, from this world, he will see tribulations, he will see a lot of bad things before even the day of judgment.
Now, we're running out of time. Let me kind of hurry up. Recently, you were asked, you said that there should be some politicians who should be banned. You mentioned people like Babangida, Jonathan, Atiku, and I'm wondering, do you think who should ban them? And in a democracy, is it not better to have the people decide who they want to vote for and convince people that these people are not good for you, these people are bad for you, rather than say ban them. And some people are wondering, are you just saying this to create room for the vice president, who people think is your candidate to be the president? That leads me to... Oh, I know. I mean, I'm asking you to answer. These are some of the things that people are saying.
Yes, what I'm saying, I particularly say the assembly, because it has to be a legal way. Based on the political situation in Nigeria, based on fact that the trouble we have is caused by the rivalry between these political groups, which all Nigerians believe they are all fighting for their own group, sectional or tribal or religious reasons. So if you want to stay in peace, Nigeria should be on a plain, on a new page in political life. But the assembly can pass such a law. So people, because they are former head of state, they all come through, how do you call it, military intervention. And I just included Atiku because one of the heavyweight politicians who also is potential between them and other head of states, I included him, which he should not have been included. A law should be for them to be statesmen, not to be politicians, so that Nigerians will have a new crop of leaders that will bring peace to this nation.
Sheik,
and the vice president, it has nothing to do with the vice president. Even if the Senate president can take, who is a Christian now, so that we can have this interim period whereby Nigerians will be given a new chance to elect eligible leaders. I'm okay with it. But to continue on this status quo, continue on this way we are doing, and that's why I'm calling on the president, because of what happened, his support, his, camouflage of this man, the terrorist organization that is confirmed to be terrorist. I request for him to honorably to resign, to save lives in Nigeria, to bring peace in Nigeria. And his resignation, I said, should be simultaneous with the promulgation in the assembly that so politicians should also be banned from politics. If such thing is done, Nigeria will be peaceful and everybody will like Nigeria.
Okay, Sheik, we are running really out of time. Let me ask you two more questions very briefly. Yes. South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu said that God is not a Christian and that non-Christians have equal chance of getting to heaven. And I asked the same question to Bishop Kuka, and he agreed. And I'm wondering, is God a Muslim? And do you think that non-Muslims have equal chance of making it to heaven?
Okay, you see, when you say a Muslim means submission, at different times, the Jews were the Muslims, others were non-Muslims. Then it came the Christians were the Muslims, others are non-Muslims. Now is the time that only somebody who gives himself to Allah and believes in the last messenger of all the messengers, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such person is the Muslim. But you can't accept all prophets and deny the last one. You are not a Muslim. And this is something even Jesus Christ, when he's allowed, he said, once I'm in this world, I'm the light of the world. So during the life of Isa alayhi salam, there is no way you can get light except through him. So when the last prophet comes, and he said, I will bring the comforter who will tell you all the truth. So this comforter that will come after Jesus is the only light to God. Any other way is not way to God. That is what Islam means. And it doesn't mean all Muslims too have seen the light. So some people have accepted Islam, but they bring in innovations that make them like the other religions.
Sheik, one last question, final question. And I promise you we're going to bring you back because we skipped a lot of questions from some of our viewers. But one last question.
Okay.
There are some Africans believe that the hope of Africa is the hope for survival lies in really abandoning foreign religions, Christianity, Islam, and go back to Africa's traditional religion. What do you say to people who have that opinion?
No, you see, religion is not foreign. Religion is human. It doesn't have boundary. The only religion that is confined to a tribe is the Judaism, which is confined to the children of Israel. But Christianity is open, everybody entered it, and Muslim is a universal religion. It doesn't consider boundaries. It's just like telling me now modern education, using the computer and this, we should all leave it and start riding donkeys and living in huts like Africans. No. Development, culture, religions, they don't know boundaries. These boundaries are even artificial. So it's not sensible to talk.
All right, Sheik, we have to leave it here for now, and we promise to bring you back soon so that we continue the discussion. Thank you so much for coming on Sahara TV.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. That was Sheik Gumi, and he has been talking about the state of Nigeria and what he thinks is the way forward. When we come back, we are going to talk about infant mortality in Nigeria and some health issues. Stay tuned.